Welcome to the Transformation Institute's podcast. This podcast will break down what real change is and how we think is instrumental to that change. In a society that often looks sideways at individuals telling us how to think, we will reveal and expose a barrage of thought manipulations and mind programming being imposed upon us unaware daily. Each week, we'll explore the awareness, strategies, tools, and mindsets needed to recognize, survive, and thrive amidst change. We'll feature insightful interviews and conversations with knowledgeable individuals and share inspiring stories of average people who have navigated their journeys of transformation and sharing their hard-won wisdom and practical advice. Whether you're seeking a shift in career, relationships, or personal well-being, this podcast is your guide to unlocking your full potential and embracing the exciting possibilities that lie ahead. Join us as we embark on this transformative journey together. Here's our host, Omari, Jahi.
All right, I forgot to come on, y'all. Welcome. Welcome to the Transformation Institute podcast. The thing came up there, my face was missing. But welcome you guys to the Transformation Institute podcast for change. Because we at the Transformation Institute, we think for a change, you know. And so we thank you all for being on today. I see we got a couple of people that's on here. Yolanda, I seen Yolanda. So our subject matter today, our conversation today. Oh, we got Kim slipped into the DMs. What's up, Kim? Yeah, I am slipping. You're right. It's been a long day, y'all, but we're going to get started. We're going to have a conversation tonight about the music industry. You know, especially after we lost the great Angie Stone. You know, we're gonna have a conversation. So, you know, I've been a musician. I've been in the music business for over 40, 50 years. So I kind of know what goes on. And I just want to share my expertise a little bit with you guys. And I want to see what my co-host thinks about this. So with that being said, let me introduce my co-host. First, we have Cousin Brenda. Y'all put your hands together for my favorite cousin, Cousin Brenda.
All right. Yeah, right. Yeah. Favorite cousin. Yeah.
My favorite cousin on the podcast.
Okay.
The favorite cousin on the podcast, you know.
It's all right. It's all right.
All right. Also, put your hands together for this young lady. She done made her way back from Germany. You know, I don't know what she thought she was. She just thought she was free to just roam all over the Germany or whatever. You know, you're an American. Bring your butt back to America so we can do our podcast. Put your hands together for Miss Vanessa Rogers, y'all.
Hey, Vanessa.
Hey, y'all. I'm sorry I'm having the difficulties, but once I can, I will get my camera going.
Oh, okay. Whatever she said. Whatever she said.
You heard me.
I didn't.
I also put your hands together for Mr. William Burns, y'all. Put your hands together for Brother William.
Hey, Will.
Hey guys.
All right. We got Kim in the building. We got Miss Plum. Oh, Plum. What's up, Plum? Hey. Welcome.
I'm lead to the plum.
What she said?
Girl, hurry up and get your stuff fixed. We can't understand what you're saying.
Nothing she said.
You couldn't hear me? I'm sorry. No,
We hear you. We just
I
a
was
lot of
saying,
static.
oh, okay. Well, let me try to get it fixed.
All righty.
Okay, but we're gonna get started. The music industry is a beast. Well, it ain't just the music industry, you know, the entertainment industry in itself, you know, dealing with motion pictures, even corporations, you know, we see movies all the time about corporations, how they deal with whistleblowers, people that, you know, they put a product out, especially these pharmaceutical corporations. They'll put some medicine out, know that it has adverse effects on people, and they'll put it out anyway because they're trying to make a buck. And somebody in their organization finds out about it and go to the press, and then before you know it, that person's found floating face down in the river. Now we think this is just a movie, right? This stuff be happening for real.
Yeah.
Miss Angie Stone was just in a car accident with 9 other people in the car, and she the only one that died. Now, is that just me that thinks something wrong with that picture?
No.
Especially after she accused her record label of stealing money from her, and how she was about to sue them because she said she want her money. Her royalties and stuff, and Michael Jackson was saying the same thing. So I was on YouTube, and I was looking. This music producer was on there, and he was trying to say some things about the music industry, but he kept saying, "Well, I would tell you, but I can't put myself out there like that." But one thing he did say, though, he said this, that the record industry, the people that runs the record companies, they determine who becomes a superstar. And it's based on how much they can trust you. What he meant by that, he explained it. He says that when you get into the music industry, you begin to see the dirt behind the scenes, what the dirt that people do and things of that nature. But and because you see all these things, people aren't comfortable with you becoming you. Like, you can't be a superstar and they ain't got nothing on you. You see what everybody else is doing, but they have to have something on you in order to feel comfortable with you becoming a millionaire, becoming a Jay-Z or a Beyonce or a Michael Jackson. They feel like they got to have something that they can expose on you, like P. Diddy. A lot of people don't know that P. Diddy, it was this summer, I think it was. He was trying to start a new political party. Or maybe that was last year. I'm not sure. But he was getting a lot of music industry people with a lot of money, and they were starting a new a political party. And then he was pissed off because they didn't want to give him the same rights as they give white people dealing with the liquor industry. He had his little drink, you know what I'm saying? But they wouldn't let his drink go as far as all these other drinks out there. And he was mad about it. And he went on a campaign about it. So my point here is that when you piss people off and they got something on you, that's when you are in jeopardy of ending up like P. Diddy. Now, they didn't have anything on Michael Jackson. They had to make up something based on his personality, because he was in the kids, so they had to make up some stuff about him messing with kids. And so they felt comfortable with that. But let me show you where it starts. It started, how they deal with, especially black artists. Y'all remember OJ?
O.J. Simpson?
Yeah.
No, okay.
When OJ killed his wife, and I don't know if he did it personally. I don't think he did. I think he had somebody, but I believe he was there. When he had his wife killed and her boyfriend, he got away with it because he had enough money to be able to get away with it. See, that's how the world really works. if you got enough money, you can get away with anything. You know, and this is how other ethnic groups have been playing that kind of game for years. Black people started to get in on it. Let me see, we got some comments. Oh, this is Plum getting down. What you say, Plum? That's why they create something. What do you mean they create something, Plum? Do you remember when he headed the Rock the Vote? Oh yeah, you talking about Diddy? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You see, but and when he did all this stuff, he started pissing people off. I'm speaking of Diddy now, but I want to get back to OJ. OJ, when he was on trial, he created the dream team because he had enough money to pay all those high class and powerful lawyers. And he had enough money to, guess what? Pay off the judge. Because come on. That's how it really works. Now, so when OJ got away with it, white people was really mad because he killed the white woman. You know? And so since then, they made sure that whenever they came after a black person for something, or like, because R. Kelly pissed somebody off too, you know, because they don't just come. He's been doing that stuff for years. Everybody knew it. I mean, everybody. You knew it. Everybody on here knew R. Kelly.
I didn't know it. I didn't know it.
Come on, Will. Everybody knew he was messing with little girls. Really, you didn't?
No, I didn't know. I didn't. I heard allegedly. I heard, but you know.
Man, I was hearing about his trips to Kenwood all the time.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
heard allegedly also.
You heard about it?
Allegedly.
While we talking about R. Kelly, we talked about this briefly before we started. Let's talk about the music industry and something that's real critical about what just happened with R. Kelly, you know, coming out with the Chris Brown remix called Residuals, and how he's questioning, you know, the music industry about, you know, where's all his money with all these hits that he wrote and all these songs that he got out there, and why he don't have no money on his books and why he living the way he living, you know. And I think that song, you know, spoke facts about the music industry, right? Because listen, the man he might have been found guilty for what they're alleging he did, but that doesn't stop him from making money off the things that he's already done over the years, over 20, 30 years of music that's out here that nobody's talking about. Music that we still listening to today, even while he behind bars, we enjoying, you know, Body Calling You, you know, Booty Calling, all R. Kelly hits. When a woman's fed up, we enjoying this stuff at parties, and R. Kelly ain't making out a dime out of it. So, you know, where's the reciprocity in the music industry? Who's making sure people are getting their monies the way they're supposed to be getting it?
Well, I mean, that's a good question, but you know what? If you really think about it, when I was talking about OJ and I had went to R. Kelly, I went to R. Kelly because he was the next superstar that really fell under that same kind of situation. And they handled him differently than they handled OJ. Let me show you what the difference is. Is that because
he didn't have enough money?
No, he was surrounded by the right people, I believe, you know.
Yeah, well, but R. Kelly had a lot of money, but see, R. Kelly's money, if you remember when they started attacking R. Kelly. They started by shutting down his performances. If you remember, he had book shows in different arenas and stuff like that. And the arena said, "We're not having him perform. No, he can't perform here." This is how artists make money.
That was led by Kevin Liles, and it goes back to what you said at the beginning. R. Kelly obviously pissed somebody higher up in the industry off, and they were upset. And I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. People do a lot of pocket watching, and they want to put your hand in your pocket because they think you got more than what you have. And I think that R. Kelly stopped feeding people. He turned the faucet off, and it pissed a lot of people off.
Well, he said he was going to turn the faucet off, but the ATM is closed. I remember him saying that, you know. So I know definitely he was cutting a lot of people off. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, this is how they're starting to deal with Black superstar artists now. You know, when they want to lock you up. Remember, they didn't charge him for a long time. They didn't charge him with nothing. They prevented him from making money so he couldn't hire a dream team. You see? And so not only did they stop him from performing, remember they stopped his music from being on the radio too.
Yeah, they you know, I think V103 was one of the first local stations that called for a boycott of R. Kelly's music, which, you know, listen, it's just my opinion. It's real hypocritical, man. You know, we can separate. You know, two things can be right. A person could be a bad person and they can still be talented, right? And we know we're adults. We know how to separate. You know, the two. We are separating the two. Some of us believe that he's guilty, and we still love bumping his music. You know, whether it be, you know, Summertime Shy or, you know, just period at any given moment, we want to listen to some R. Kelly. You know.
Yeah, well, you know, Plum said, "What about Elvis?" You know, everybody know Elvis was messing with little girls, just like R. Kelly.
But that's
I didn't
more.
know that.
That's
I didn't
more,
know that either.
No, I heard about that when I was younger, but I also feel like it's more acceptable in their culture than it is acceptable in our culture. You know?
Well, just like R. Kelly, Elvis married his.
What?
Wait a minute, what'd you say, Vanessa?
I said Elvis married his young girl, just like R. Kelly allegedly married Aaliyah.
Well, he didn't allegedly. He married Aaliyah. They had it annulled, but my point is, they didn't crucify Elvis. You see what I'm saying?
Well, Elvis wasn't the only one that had this problem.
Right. But we as a culture, we eat our own people up. You know what I'm saying? Like you just said, they didn't eat Elvis up in his culture, but our own culture, we started eating each other up from the inside out, right? So we started attacking first, and then everybody else catch on, and they want to, pile on to the situation. So it's a cultural thing with how that works, because Elvis ain't the only person. It's a lot of people out here. There was an NBA player that was accused last year with a young girl, and it got so quiet. I mean, it was talked about for a minute, then got real quiet. Then he got traded from the team he was on to Chicago. You know, so this still going on. You know,
yes.
They just deal with it differently in their culture.
Right, and who was that young? Who was the young black man? Remember, it was a movie. I don't know if it was. One of them country stars, the young black. He liked white girls, and he was soliciting them, and you talking
about Mos Def? Mos Def was playing the character. I know
he played the character. Yeah. He did. What was that? What was that movie? Was that in Cadillac Records?
That was in Cadillac Records, right?
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So yeah, that's been going on forever. Because what star was he playing? Who was that he was?
No, I can't remember his character.
Jerry Lee Lewis? Was it Jerry Lee Lewis?
No, Jerry Lee Lewis. No.
He was a rock and roll star.
Rock and roll, black rock and roll.
Chuck Berry, I think it was.
Chuck Berry. Yeah. I mean, he was. They got him for taking young girls across state lines, and all of that stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, and we know that it happened with every. I mean, I don't know every race, but we know that it wasn't just black people doing that. We know that. So,
right. Black people learned it from somebody else. Let's be real.
Exactly. But see, it's used as a weapon. It's used as a weapon against black and minority artists. You see what I'm saying? So to keep you in line, they got to have something on you. And if they ain't got nothing on you, your records ain't getting promoted like the people that's in the club. See, it's like if you're going out to the parties after the concert and this, that, and other, and you getting high, and they can get a picture of you, you know, with some young girl on your lap and this, that, and another, and you got a wife at home, then they'll be more comfortable in making you a superstar, you know, because you're gonna play ball. Because see, the music industry dictates what the feel of. It's almost like you know, when we was growing up, the music was all about love, right? Everything was about love. Basically, everything was about love. Now, the music business changed. We didn't change it. You see what I'm saying? The artists themselves didn't change it because the record industry dictates what they are going to accept from an artist. And if they say, hey, say, what'd you say, Will?
No, you're right about that part. But until you run into independent artists like Kanye West, who do their own thing and don't listen to what she's talking about, and he still make money. That's what's amazing about it. He makes money like he has oversight by those individuals you just referenced, and he doesn't.
But
hey, do you guys hear some noise, or is that just me?
Yeah, I think that's Vanessa's. Yeah, there it is. That's Vanessa's mic or whatever that is. I don't know what that is. She muted it. So yeah, just unmute yourself when you want to say something, Vanessa. But look what they did to him. You see what I'm saying? They made him crazy as hell.
But people believe him though.
They made us think he crazy. I don't really believe.
No, he's not crazy. I know he ain't crazy.
They made us think he crazy.
They want everybody to think he crazy. So now, even though he may be talented as hell, he ain't gonna be able to get collabs and stuff like that. He ain't gonna be able to work with other people like he used to, because they be like, oh man, dude, crazy as hell. Don't nobody want to mess with him.
But he's still making diamond records, man. You know, that's amazing.
Yeah. Man. But think about it. You don't really hear from him like you used to. You know why? You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to say about the music industry. The music industry ain't nothing but a big mafia. It's like the mob. You know, you got to be a part of the team. And if you ain't a part of the team and they ain't got nothing on you. What do you think the mob's mission is by introducing people like Sexy Red, you know, and that into the culture? What do you think their mission is for doing that? That's exactly what I'm saying. Sexy Red didn't come up with the idea of Sexy Red by herself. The industry wants that kind of music out here because they want our young girls switching and twerking and our babies. They want all of us to be sexually motivated by this music so that we can have the challenges that we're having now. You know, well, I ain't gonna get into. We already know. Why do you think the young people gravitate and attract more to people like a Sexy Red that's obviously an industry plant, but she's loved amongst the culture? Well, see, the culture has changed.
I was just about to say that. It has.
The culture used to be about respect, honor, and race pride and things like that, you know. But now the culture is about the bag. So, you know. So Nelly made a comment on another podcast, and he said something that might make a lot of people uncomfortable, but he said something that I found that was true. That, you know, the industry had already been playing around with whole music, you know, and people always was talking about getting the bag and taking money from men and, you know, being a loose woman, until there was a real hole that came into the industry, i.e. Sexy Red. Not everybody taken aback and shocked. But y'all been playing with this for so long till it came reality. So you saying she was a prostitute for real? Come on, man. No, I'm not saying that, man. No. I mean, because there was a lot of hoes before her. That, you know, I'm talking about real.
Was there whole music though? What was whole music?
That was when I was a kid. I got in trouble as a kid when I was in 7th grade for a group on the West Coast that was called Hoes with an Attitude. I used to sneak the tape in my house and sit on the couch while the family was sitting there watching TV, the Cosby Show maybe, and I was sitting there listening to Hoes with Attitude. My mom was like, "What are you listening to every night?" and she heard it, and I got a whooping. Now just let you know.
I mean, was that something everybody knew? Because I mean, I ain't never heard Hoes with Attitude.
Yeah, it was a hip hop group called Hoes with Attitude.
Okay.
Yeah. But it ain't just her. Don't you remember what was this chick name that was with Biggie?
Adina Howard, Lil' Kim.
No, yeah, her too.
It's a lot of people that played the role, but nobody got as down and dirty right now as Sexy Red is did. You know what I'm saying?
What about the Queen Bee? I ain't talking about Beyonce either.
You talking about Lil' Kim? Lil' Kim is nothing. She's nothing compared to Sexy Red, in my opinion. Sexy Red is so raw with her stuff, is ridiculous.
Is she the only one though? She's not the only one though.
She's the lead of the pack right now. You know,
but I'm saying, okay, but she's not the only one. So, so you're saying because she's the leader of the pack, I mean, they put her out there to make her the leader of the pack. Like there's some others out there, but they're not coming up to her status. Is that what you're saying?
Right. No, that's some. Now, let me just say, when it comes to talent, there's some very talented women out there. So I'm not saying she's the most talented woman. But
no, I'm talking about with the sex appeal, the more sex.
Right. When it comes to Sexy Red, to the wild woman, to the finessing of the men, to talking raunchy and sexually, you know, about what they want to do and how they want it done to them. That's the Sexy Red type, you know, situation, if you will.
And the point I'm trying to make is Sexy Red was created by the music industry. They created her. There's a lot of young, attractive female rappers out here that wasn't putting out music like that. Like MC Light, we're going back. MC Light.
That's real talent, though. You talking about real talent. That's raw. That's real rap talent, hip hop talent right there. You can't even put, you can't, the Queen Latifah, MC Lights, the Salt and Peppers, you can't put them in the same category of these new female rappers. Like I say, they run the industry, but when you talk about raw talent, you talking about the MC Lights, the Queen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Moni Love, those was talents, real hip hop talents.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brenda.
Okay, we're getting back to the Angie Stone thing. When I first heard it, I don't listen to a lot of new stuff. Don't be want to know a lot of stuff. But anyway, when I first heard about Angie Stone, I was told that everybody in the vehicle died. The very next day, I read that it was only she. And my first thought was like, man, did somebody do something to her on the bus? So I haven't heard anything else since that. Then I found out it was just only her. And that would freak anybody out, because if it was such a terrible accident as they said it was, how did one person die? But then when you're thinking that way, then you're thinking that those people who were her people on the bus had to have something to do with it. Is that not the second thought?
Yeah,
it's not that. I mean, and I know you're saying the industry does this and that, and it saddens me. That's why I don't listen to a lot of media stuff about things. You know, I saw a thing the other day that said Whoopi Goldberg had died, and then that wasn't real. It's just too much. It's too much craziness out here. And what really saddens me is that everybody's listening to it. I remember someone told me they were freaking out when they thought that Instagram or TikTok or something was going to be taken away or something. And it's sad to hear people talk about that. If some of this social media stuff that can just bog you down and make you crazy, that you would be crazy without it. We're crazy with it. And us, our people, for real, because when you guys were talking about what the industry does, is there any, and I think you guys answered this one other time, is there any Black people with money that can make some things change? I said this before, if I did not know who Jesus was and depended on him, I would be crazy with my thoughts and hopeless. I would be totally hopeless, because it seems like people could do whatever they want to do. And no matter what we say in this podcast for change, well, how are we going to change things? If we get real political, if we talk about stuff and we start to help do something, are we afraid that something might come on us, our families?
Nope.
I mean, I'm just
saying.
Why?
No. You know why? We only got 4 people listening to us. If it was 500 to 1,000 people on here, then you need to start worrying. Then you know what'll probably start happening is the IRS will start auditing us. It starts off like that. You know, you get audited all of a sudden, and then they'll charge you with some kind of tax evasion. You know, now podcaster cheating on taxes now, and they'll put you out there in the media, in the news like that. They'll be like, oh man, Brenda and Will and them, man, they bogus as hell, man. All that, they ain't paying their taxes. You know, and that's how Negroes is, even though they know half of us, the majority of us don't pay our taxes because we don't like the IRS. None of us do. You know, but
I'm not in there.
You know you don't give a damn about the IRS.
I'm not in that group.
Hey, I pay mine. My uncle get his money.
Wait.
I'm just saying, that's how they'll come at. Because see, let's just say, okay, I'm just making this up. It's on the record. I'm making this up. Let's just say Vanessa was secretly at night dancing on a pole, and nobody knew.
Now what? Okay, go ahead.
Because he know I can't get on no pole. He didn't.
Well, these old knees can't get on no pole either.
I said I was making this up. I said I'm making it up.
He could have used some name, couldn't he?
I couldn't put
Miss Plum was on the pole.
Oh, Miss Plum gonna get you.
I'm just saying, secretly, if that was going on,
okay,
and we had 500 people on our podcast every week to 1,000 listening to us and saying the stuff, you know, how people like they respond and not saying, you know, that makes sense what y'all saying, and people start listening. And then if white people start listening, that's the real kicker. If we get white people on here listening to us and what we talking about, that's when the IRS comes for a visit. You see what I'm saying? That's when all of a sudden your stuff in your closet starts creeping out.
Hey, Ty, don't be surprised we get a phone call in the morning now.
Who, me? Man, I ain't worried about them. Shoot, what they gonna do? If they put me in jail, they gonna take me back out because they ain't gonna want me in there because I'm gonna be changing the way the inmates think in there.
No, they gonna be finding you somewhere.
They don't want me in jail.
Man, I don't know. Okay, so So is there a word? Is there a conspiracy theory about Angie's death? Is there?
Well, you know what? This is my thing about it. Nothing. You ain't heard nothing from the people that was in the van with her.
Right.
You know, no reports that the police interviewed them, who they are, nothing. Usually you see pictures, you know, of the people that was in there with her, and they would be telling you who they were to her and this, that, and another. You'll see all that kind of stuff. You ain't seeing nothing. You ain't even seeing the person that was driving the truck. They ain't showed you a picture of him. Nothing. It's like a blackout. You know, and if you don't ask, they ain't saying. So eventually, what's supposed to happen? It's just gonna go away. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing about Angie Stone again. Ain't nobody gonna think about it. You know, they'll just be YouTubing her every now and then. You'll see some on YouTube, and then it's over. You know, I just found out. Now check this out. Now you know Michael Jackson was having problems with Sony Records because they didn't like the fact that he owned the Beatles catalog, right? Right? Do you know that since he died, that Sony Records got 50% of that catalog back?
Okay, so if he owned it, how did they get it back?
I don't know. You see what I'm saying?
So I mean, his family or whoever it got left to had to do something with that, right?
So again,
I'm wondering if his mom did that.
His mom.
You think his mother sold some of it?
Yeah, because she was the executive of the estate, so she might have authorized.
She probably did. But
or you think she was pressured?
But no. Don't you? I mean, I've seen too many doggone cop shows where the villain, family, the children own the, like say they got their father owned a lot of money, and the next person in line to control the money wasn't playing ball. You know, he wasn't doing what other folks feel he should have been doing. So all of a sudden he has an accident, a car accident, or he fall down some stairs or something, and the next person in line does what the people want. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you get rid of the person that's not playing ball like you're supposed to, knowing that when they're gone, who has authority after them. And so you can get what you want now. I'm sure his mama didn't care nothing about no Beatles catalog. She probably don't even like the Beatles. But Sony, all of a sudden, they got 50% of that catalog now. You know? And that's what they wanted from Michael. That's what they wanted, and they got it.
Okay, so how can a change happen in that type of stuff? How can it?
Exposing it. You got to expose it.
Aren't they exposed? Don't we?
It's not being exposed. What we talking about ain't nothing.
I mean, but it sounds like a lot of people know that that's what it is already. So
no, we're conspiracy. When you talk like this is called conspiracy theories. You know, because I ain't got no proof of what I'm saying, other than the fact that it makes sense. That if they wanted Michael Jackson's Beatles catalog and he wasn't giving it to them, and they knew that if he was dead, the next person that would have the authority to make a decision whether to sell it or not would be his mother, then they would get rid of him, and then they got what they want. That makes sense. It happens all the time, but can't nobody prove nothing. If I was to get on my soapbox tomorrow on social media, I would be considered a conspiracy theorist. You know, we had 7 people on here, and we down to 3 now because what we talking about ain't no proof. We just talking, you know, and nobody can prove what's being said here. We just making up stuff, you know. Yeah. And so I know what you're saying, Brenda. What can be done? See, I really believe, Brenda, people think that you have to die to go to heaven or hell. I believe you live in it right now. Either when you do right and you do good, heaven on earth. When you down low and just scandalous and a dog eat dog, this becomes hell. And this is the majority of the world is like that. And so we walk the streets of hell now. This is hell in my opinion. But it's heaven for those that believe like you. You see what I'm saying? And I believe the rest of us on here. We believe. So I think the scripture talks about how you walk walk in peace or something, walk the earth in peace.
The earth, no, we're just what do you all say? We just passing through here. We passing through. This ain't it's just in the last year or so, it's just been so much happening, and it's just so much sadness. And you were talking about that. I don't know Sexy Red. I think I heard the name. I can't even envision her. but I know I have a one of my nephews, his niece is up and coming. She's young black, beautiful black girl. I see her on TikToks and Instagrams, and I'm not going to call her name or anything, but she's up and coming. She's singing and she sounds pretty good, you know, and I can see in my eyes, I can see that she could one day be known more than she's known now. She's known a little bit out there. But I see her sexy. I see her from when I saw her from a young girl to get, you know, now being a young lady. And all I can think now for her is pray that she doesn't become preyed on, or, you know, or in that mess of things, you know. But I know she has a desire to rise up. And all I can feel now in this instant is that, will her rising be bad for her? You know, I mean, can, you know, the people who see their kids singing in church choirs, and then they come out and they want to sing songs of, you know, of the world, and can, you know, people be wanting their kids to accelerate and be something? And I mean, do you really want them to? Will they really last? Will they like when, who was that? When they were getting R. Kelly, I remember thinking, how are they not arresting some of these parents? The parents who were letting their daughters, they were almost actually just serving up their daughters. And then, you know, then the parents had the nerve to say something, but it was terrible. And it should have been stopped before it got that far. And some of those parents were acting like they didn't know this was happening. And I don't believe that. So, you know, I don't know. It's a little scary.
Well, that's how they got them. Actually, it wasn't just the parents. It was a lot of people who could have been called co-conspirators. They made deals and took the deals, and that's how they got him.
What you mean? So the parents are the first. The parents are the first, or should have been the first. That a deal is offered to, shouldn't it, or no? I mean, somebody else was over the girl before the parent was? I mean,
no, I'm just saying that whole case, that's how they were able to finally get him, because they had all these people turning against him and turning state's evidence, because they started giving deals. Like, we'll give you immunity if you tell us this story. You won't have to worry about going to jail. So that's what happened there. A lot of people started flipping for immunity, because just like you said, the parents should have been going to jail. Some of the people who supposedly was giving the little girls to him should have been going to jail. The people who were on looking and saw all this activity, they should have been going to jail too. You know, there's no way as a parent, your child is traveling to different states. Like, you can't go to the West Coast, and how do you not report home? Like, what's really going on?
Yeah, that is so true. That's very true. You know, but again, it's like, this is the world we live in now. You know, and it was created this way. It didn't just happen all of a sudden. We woke up one day and it was like this. It was schemed out, planned, and put into motion. And now here we are. You know, we're a perverted generation. You know, but we didn't become this way on our own. Somebody made us like this. We are not like this. And in answer to about your niece, I think you said it was your niece, right? The young lady that sings.
She's great niece.
Huh?
She's like a great niece, like my nephew.
Oh,
you know, his niece.
Yeah. Okay, but it don't matter how much talent she has. She could be the next Whitney Houston. But if she does not, I'm trying to find a clean word to use, submit to the industry, whatever agent of the industry that she's assigned to. You know, like when you get signed, Well, before you get signed to a record label, they issue you a lawyer. They have a lawyer to kind of help you to work through the contracts and all that kind of stuff, right? Because we can't afford our own lawyers. The record company will provide a lawyer for you. Now, guess what? The lawyer works for the record company.
Right.
So whose interest do you think that lawyer is really working on, or working for? And so your niece, the only way she can be successful is almost like they used to do back in the day. Print up her own CDs or whatever, have her own recording studio, or have a friend that has a recording studio and produce her own stuff and go throughout the city promoting your stuff, selling your stuff. But that's been a block's been put in front of that too, because
people can't do that anymore.
Oh, hell no.
Oh.
Now, don't you remember you used to see people on the L all the time selling stuff? They can't do that no more. You can't stand in front of the CTA and sell stuff. You can't. They made sure that by whatever means we are able to make money on our own, they blocked it. So you got to come to them.
It's still some stuff they could sell standing around in front of the L,
Yeah, but it's not. Well, maybe I should put it like this. We don't support artists that sell their own stuff in front of the L's or anywhere. I've seen them on the expressway. Standing there trying to sell a CD. This is my new CD, and this and that and another. And I'll drive right by them. Because I don't know you. Why would I buy somebody's CD? So they force you to come to them. There's no other option. Now, there used to be independent record labels, but then the big fish ate up the little fish. And they call them subsidiaries now. You might have an independent record label, but you answer to one of these big record labels. They the mother company. And so if you are making records and they don't like the kind of music that you're doing because they want raunchy, rap, sexy, juking and twerking kind of music, and you doing love stuff, they could cancel your whole record company.
Right.
So are there no black-owned major record companies? Black-owned, fully black-owned?
It used to be.
So your answer is no?
The last one was Babyface. What was that? Babyface and L.A. Reid. They had a record company. I can't remember the name of it. LaFace Records, yes. That was, other than Motown. I'm talking about big record companies now. Other than Motown, LaFace Records was the only one as of lately that was independent from the big white record companies. And then
so Motown is gone.
It's not black anymore. It's white. White people
Motown
own Motown.
Is?
Yes. White people own Motown. But LaFace Records was bought up by Arista. When they took Babyface partner, L.A. Reid, they convinced him to be president of Arista Records. He had his own record company.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But you know how we say the white man's ice is colder than our ice for some reason. He thought that being president of Arista was better than being president of your own record company.
So are we sure that he thought that, or he was pressured to think that?
I think he might have been also looking at the budget. He might have seen an increased availability of budget that he can do more projects with.
Probably so. Yeah, but what happened was the end of black record labels. You see what I'm saying? That was it. Like Jay-Z, you can call Rockefeller records, you think that's just a black record company because Jay-Z. No, what was the other guy that was with him? Damon Dash. I think that was who that was.
Yeah, that was Dan.
Yeah, but it ain't not without a white record company being the head. Every black record company that's anything is a subsidiary of a major white record company. And every successful black artist has a white or a Jewish person that's either the manager,
right?
Yeah, they're either the manager or the some kind of
executive,
personal assistant or something to that effect to the artist, because they have to be around that artist 24/7 to be able to monitor what are they thinking, what moves are they making, are they trying to make a move against us? You see, this is why they always have to have somebody on top of the artist, the black artist, like Jay-Z. Everybody think Jay-Z does what he want to do. No, Jay-Z answers to a white man, and the white man he answers to his name is damn, I just had it on my tongue. Like you know who the white man that Diddy was answering to, right?
I don't.
That was Clive, right?
Clive Davis. Yes. And believe it or not, Clive Davis throws the same kind of parties Diddy throws, but for white people.
Right, different culture.
Nobody saying nothing. Everybody knows about it in the industry. Everybody know that Clive Davis, like men, he eventually just came on out with it that he's bisexual.
Okay, so I guess it's safe for us to close to the end of our podcast.
It is the end, ain't it?
to see, I guess it's good for us to just remember Sam Cooke with a change gonna come.
No, it's already changing. What you talking about? A change gonna come. We've been changing for a long time. It just ain't for the best.
You know what? As far as the whistleblower thing, I feel like it's not just in the music industry. It's
no,
period. You know, anytime someone knows something on you and you're powerful, it seems like the first step is let's get rid of them. Now, if they do it physically or torture you other ways, it's up to them. But this wouldn't be the first time we hear of them doing something to people.
No. Yeah, I think it's in the political.
It won't end because, like I said, it's across the board. Anytime you have high-playing players, you're gonna have some issues. And hell, it's like the musical mob. That's what it could be considered.
Yes. Don't you remember what was that? 5 Heartbeats? When Red hung dude out the window.
My office hours are.
Exactly. You know, that stuff is real. You know?
That's the realest that's the closest we got to real when it comes to the music industry was 5 Heartbeats, because that showed real situations, you know.
Yes. I mean, but it's like
those musicians
ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Say anybody that has the truth and can prove it, they don't dare open their mouth. It's almost like you signed an NDA, you know, because you know that they got something on you. Because look, we all have sin, as the scriptures say, all of us. If people were to follow us around 24/7 for 5 years, they would find something creeping out of our closets. Every last one of us, you know.
Yeah. Will used to try to talk me into running for for alderman in my ward. I told him them people. Yeah, right. And then I start talking the stuff I talk, and yeah, right. Then y'all be looking for me. I told Will, no, no, because yeah, but I do agree that I mean I don't I told y'all sometimes I've been feeling hopeless, but with the aldermanic stuff, all this kind of things, and I do believe that I need to go more to community meetings and different things, you know, and try to make some sort of a difference. Though I probably would never run for alderwoman or whatever, but I do need to stop just talking about it and being about it. That's Life Jennings. Don't just preach about it and teach about it. Don't just speak about it all day. that's Life Jennings. I don't know, but somebody put him in jail one time too, so I don't know.
Hey, watch. Hey, we're gonna have our closing thoughts now. But keep your prayers on my boy. Man, I can't think of nobody's name.
Okay, who is your boy? He your boy for real?
From the Super Bowl.
Come on, Kendrick.
Halftime.
Kendrick
Lamar. Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
White people like him.
Well, a lot of them didn't like him after the Super Bowl. A lot of comments I saw, they didn't.
The older white people.
Well, those were the others that didn't like him after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
People who don't understand, they don't like. You know, that's just fact. Yeah. You know, what they don't understand, they don't like. You know,
that boy is dangerous. That he ain't got enough money to be dangerous yet, but he's on his way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're gonna start hearing a lot of negative stuff about him because they got to put stumbling blocks in his way now because they see that he's militant. He had the nerve to bring his black militancy to the Super Bowl.
He did.
You see what I'm saying? He did. And they don't like that. So believe me, they working on him. They coming after him.
Yeah,
you know, and all black people know this. They know this. That's why they stay in their lane. They stay in their lane.
He did say the revolution was going to be televised at night. So he did put a warning out there. You know.
All righty.
But my closing thought is this: is that there's no way that I can believe that Jesus said, I am not of this world. And he didn't have a reason for saying it. You see what I'm saying? I believe that we have to be able to, you know, like the Quakers. Don't get me wrong. I ain't saying be like them. I'm saying we have to it's kind of hard because you need money to do anything, but I think we need our own little what do they call them things where you gated community. We have to start developing gated communities for people that think like us. You see what I'm saying? And in our gated community, we have to have our own schools, we have to have our own hospitals, all that stuff. Inside, but again, you got to have a lot of money to be able to do stuff like that. You got to have a lot of influence to do stuff like that. But if we don't begin to think like this and start then putting words into actions to get something like that done, then we're going to be just like you said, Brenda. It's just going to be, we just sit back in our rocking chair and like the old woman used to do back in the day, just watch all the crap happen. That's my closing thought.
And I believe we got to be like the Underground Railroad. I believe we got to start with what we know, start with ours. And we may not, because I definitely don't believe that we'll gain the whole world. But I believe that we can change some things. And I'm in this because I have grandchildren under the age from 7 to 2 years old. And I love them so much that I'm looking for a change, that I mean, got to do something different and kind of shield them from some things. So hey, whoever I can find to come along with me, if I can only change a few people, if I can only help a few people, I'm in this to help somebody to be something, to be different in life. If somebody can see something different, people do. I believe in change, and people can change. I believe that.
Amen.
That's my closing thought.
I believe that we can, we as a public can do a yeoman's work in helping R. Kelly find out where his money at. We have the same fury we had with putting him behind jail. We need to have the same fury with finding out where his finances are at.
Can we do something if we find it?
You said what now?
Can we do something about it if we find out where it's at? What if
they got it? So we can support R. Kelly so that he don't have to live like he's living.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know,
okay.
He earned that. He earned that money. He earned that.
Okay.
And see, and if he had that money, he'd be able to get some lawyers to get him up out of there.
That's exactly why they crippled him.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
Vanessa?
My thought is, as a community, we have to start doing as the old people used to say, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing all the time. Because the moment they find out what we have planned, they start to attack. And just like they didn't let us know what they were doing, they've been doing this Project 2025 for years. They kept it quiet until it broke. And at the time it broke, we had so many people, well, that could never happen. We don't believe in, and now this is a FAFO. And you know what that means. So we just have to do better as a community and sticking together and making sure we stay on top of what's good for us, because everyone else stays on top of what's good for them.
I agree. The sticking together thing is that's sad to me that we don't stick together. We know that it's sad that we know each other, and in our little spaces we're not sticking together. So hey, and I believe in prayer. Prayer changes things. If it don't change things, it changes people. So
but the thing about us sticking together is that we like to stick together with people that ain't together.
Yeah. We like the trauma bond. We don't find
right.
And that's so true.
See, somebody, I don't know who said this, but I believe it's my mantra, and I believe it with all my heart. When people show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
Believe them. And it doesn't matter whether they are blood related to you or not. Because see, there's a lot of people that are blood related to us that need to be kicked to the damn curb. Seriously.
Yeah,
all right. That's another podcast. All right. That's another podcast.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. I just keep it real. But thank you all for being on the podcast today. We next, what is our next one about? Oh, next Thursday, I think, because I had the whole month planned out. Next Thursday, we're gonna be talking about the message in the music. And I'm gonna be playing a whole lot of different songs, because over the years, entertainers have been trying to give us a message. No, that's it. I'm telling them about what's coming up next week.
Okay.
The message in the music. So we'll see you then. Oh, if somebody said goodbye or something, who's this? Oh, Kim. What's up, Kim? Kim
She missed us.
I thought she was gonna be on.
Nah, you're back. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Until next week, we'll see y'all again.
All right.
We'll see y'all next week.
Good night, guys.
Thanks for supporting our podcast. We look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Until then, strive for a peaceful mind. Your activity will reflect that peace.